Hello, welcome to our channel. So, um, if it's your first time here, please do not be afraid to subscribe, and also please hit the like button. It just takes 2 seconds. Um, Before we get started, let's go ahead and see who's in the room. My partner in crime, Mr. Dark. Hugs. Then my brother, Navy vet. Salute. Then we got my brother, Kush. You gotta go work out with him if you don't. He is fabulous at that. He's been helping me get strong. Gotta take care of these big old doggies. Auntie Six, salute. It's good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing fabulous on this wonderful Sunday morning for you. Well, evening. But after I get done doing this draft breakdown and I will put the link in, and if anybody wants to come in, they're more than welcome to. Salute to Red Rings. It's good to see you, brother. Today I'm doing a film breakdown on Drew Sanders. I know you probably guys are like, we already know that you like him, but the way that he moves, he's just so smooth. Not just because he's a Razorback and that's my team. He's just super smooth at what he does. So I know Ben is live right now. He's doing his gaming. If you guys want to check him out too, you're more than welcome. I give him all the love and respect as well because that man, he is another fighter. He is great at what he does, whether it's gaming or talking about the Raiders or just talking crap. He is fabulous. I give him a lot of respect, and he gave me a really good compliment last night on Black Saturday. And that dude, I have always love and respect for him. And shout out to his anniversary with him and his wife and his family. Salute to him. Oh, well, then never mind, then you guys just come hang out with me. I'm gonna try and break down the film like Raphael does. He's very informational. Maybe I should just pull him up and he can come up here. But man, let's get it started, guys. What do you think? Look at this guy. Here's another. Boom. Check him out. Look at him at number 40. He's always willing to go after that guy. He gets through those holes, boom. That's somebody we need. And he's a very healthy, very, very, very healthy guy. Well, this is just Texas A&M, I think. No, never mind. Yeah, see, they got. Oh, uh, shout out to JM Football for this breakdown. This is just for educational purposes. I'm not trying to rip you off or nothing. This is just for educational purposes only. I'm a big fan of this dude. He's very versatile, and I want him to be a Raider so he can help this defense become what it should be. Look at this defense is awesome. It's a little underrated, but watch what the arrows do. He comes in and he gets them. Here he goes. He's reading that quarterback. He's reading the play. Whoop. Boom. He's gonna get this guy. Hear it? Oh my gosh. I am not a big fan of these ads. This is Ole Miss. And this guy's pretty good too at running back. I don't remember his name. I'm not very good at names. I just know a lot of these players are really good. He is so versatile. I mean, he just gets to that ball. He stops him. Yep, he's gonna get through that hole and he's gonna get him. Wow. I'm still new at this film study, so bear with me, guys. I'm just watching amazement right here. Arkansas has really good linebackers. Their linebackers coach was really, really good for them. The defensive lineman wasn't too shabby, I do believe. Their defensive backs was they weren't very good, but Drew Sanders, man, he was the top dog there. Look at this guy. This is somebody who I believe is going to help Max Crosby as well. Because if you get Jalen Carter, then you get Drew Sanders, and then you team him up with Jack Campbell. Oh Lord, oh Lord, look out! Because you could get lucky in this draft and get really, really good players. Look at that. If it wasn't for him, that guy wouldn't have got him. And we need a run stopper. Well, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose them. Even the best players miss tackles too. Too bad we couldn't get Aaron Donald, you know? Team him up with Max Crosby. Let's just trade Chandler Jones for Aaron Donald. How about that, guys? What do you think about that? That'd be better. Now this is Ole Miss. Yeah. That other team was Texas A&M. Here it comes up. He's so smooth. Look at that. I knew he got him an interception. I do believe. I was like, I watched that whole game. Yep, he's right in that. He was reading that quarterback. Hey, Trayvon Morag, did you see that? That's how you catch an interception. I know he's watching. Oh, smooth. Look at that. There's another interception. Well, he missed it, but that's okay. I'm not good at reading plays, so I don't know what he's saying. I don't want to get in trouble for using the audio. He's always in the area of the ball. I don't know if you guys notice. Here he goes. There you see it, guys. Welcome, Afakasi. So anyways, if anybody wants to come up and chit chat for a little bit, You're more than welcome to. I'll put it in the chat. Hey, Raphael. It's good to see you, brother. It is good to see you. All right. That was my first film study. It's some crazy stuff, man. That guy, I love Drew Sanders. I feel like that guy could really do some damage with Max Crosby. And then, like if we go ahead and we get Jalen Carter. Thank you, Ray. It's good to see you, money man. Feel like it's brighter in here today, even though it's rainy and gloomy out. Look at it. It's so nasty here. It's cold. But I came from Wisconsin, and it's not that cold for me, I guess. Yeah, Sanders, he's always by that ball. I don't know if you guys didn't notice that though. He's always there. He's always reading the quarterback. He's always reading the running back. And that's somebody that we need. I don't know if you guys ever remember him, but Bill Romanowski, he was always that hard-hitting linebacker. Yes, he might have a few flags, not a few, a lot, but that guy, he was a hard hitter, and he would always be right there at the ball. Like, yeah, even Clay Matthews, too. Clay Matthews, another good linebacker. The only problem with Clay is he would always go ahead and get roughing the passer a lot. That was his downfall. But hey, win some, lose some. There he is, Mr. Afakasi.
It's good. How are you, Holly? What's going on?
Good. How's it going with you?
Yeah, not bad. I was doing some stream before. I was lying down, saw you were doing a live, so I thought I'd come and join, say hello, and have some fun with the gang in the chat. We were talking about our makeshift football team. Kush, salute to you. He's the strong safety, and we got Aunt Six as our free safety. And they seem to say that I should be the middle linebacker, but I hate to break it to you guys. I'm a big boy, but I can't tackle to save my life. I can kick a ball, though, so I'm the punter for the team.
We always need another kicker. Always.
Kickers are people, too.
Because, the Raiders always has, really good kickers. I like Sebastian Janikowski, even Sean Leftwich. I mean, he was a punter, but then you
Sean
had...
Leckler?
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I knew it was
You said, what did you say? Leftwich?
Yeah, I didn't mean to. Sorry, wrong guy.
Put some respect on his name. He was a good punter for a while. Sean Leckler, and then Marquette King. I always loved Marquette King.
I was really upset when we traded him. I was like, man.
We just outright released him. We didn't even trade him. Do you remember what happened with?
We did.
Do you remember, because I think he rubbed Gruden the wrong way before the season started, because someone asked him about Gruden being hired as the coach for the Raiders, and he made some remark about oh, isn't he that ESPN guy or some crap like that? And it rubbed Gruden the wrong way. Within a few days, he was released. So.
Here's the thing. Gruden, it kind of sucked the way that he went out, but I'm not mad that he's gone, because he got rid of a lot of good players.
Yeah.
And if we have our opinions, we shouldn't get released or traded because of our opinions. We should be able to still prove that we are valuable to the team. I loved his energy and what he brought. Like the way when he was out there dancing and having a good time on the field, that's what you want. You want guys like that. You don't want guys who are, oh, I gotta go out and play today, guys. Like, no. King had that energy.
And it's good to see he's been getting back involved with Raider Nation. I don't know if you keep up to date with him on Instagram, but he's been getting involved in a lot of like a lot of those fan parties over in Vegas, and he still sports the gear, the Gorilla Rilla bandana. You know what I mean? He's still a very proud Raider. I think it was on Samoan Raiders live feed. Shout out to him, but they recently did an interview with Marquette King, and it was very interesting. Some of the things he had to say about like some of the things we didn't know, like how him and Michael Crabtree had beef stemming from like even before Crabtree was a Raider, and like he just there was also like some of the interesting things he said, like he felt a little disrespected at times because like there was people that were coming in after he'd already been on the roster for 3-4 years and kind of treating him like an outcast when he was there before these certain guys. You know what I mean? So it was interesting hearing his perspective about what happened with him and his time as a Raider. But he's still, a Raider at heart. And I, for one, always appreciated Marquette King for his energy, and he was a good punter too. You know what I mean? And he was athletic. He made some plays with his legs. So. Yeah. I have a soft spot in my heart for Marquette King, and I used to have his jersey once upon a time.
I like that's what I'm saying is like he had such great. He was really great on the field. He was a very athletic guy, and that's something like I really didn't want him to. I didn't want him to go ahead and get released or whatever. I mean, I have Cooper's jersey. As soon as I had Cooper's jersey, dude gets traded to Dallas. I was like, oh man, because I finally was able to be excited about a wide receiver again. Him and Michael Crabtree, they were all really good on there. I like that game I told you about the against, I think it was 2007. Yeah, the Chiefs.
2017.
Yeah, 2017. That extending play after play after play.
Yeah.
That was such a good game.
It was. I remember watching that live.
You're a lucky man.
Did you watch it live?
Oh yeah, I watched it live, but it's like I kept watching it. I was like kept closing my eyes there at the end, and then I kept my eyes open. But then I was like, I just didn't want to watch because we always get screwed over at the end. But that was such a good game.
Yeah, it was a Raider classic.
I'm really excited. I don't know about you. I hope we take a really good defensive player. That's who we need.
Honestly, like there's not anybody that's within the top 10, 12 players that I'd be mad that we took, you know what I mean? It's only if we did something bonehead stupid, like take some Joe Schmo out of left field, you know what I'm saying? Like like a complete reach, you know what I'm saying? Like an Alex Leatherwood kind of pick, like a Damon Arnett kind of pick. That's when I would be upset. But like if we took, because of the way our roster's shaken up at the moment and how many holes we've got, like there's not really, like I said, one guy who's in that top 12 range where if we picked him, I'd be like, oh, we got this guy. No, I'm with it, as long as they don't reach. That's all I ask.
Yeah, we don't need no Joe Schmo again. Because when we picked that Leatherwood and Arnett, I was like, who?
Yeah.
Never heard of him in my life. And then, not last year, but the year before that, when Perkins got picked, I was like,
Who?
oh,
Perkins?
no, Parsons.
Mika
He's
Parsons?
the one on Dallas. He was a
Oh, okay.
rookie,
Right.
had one of the best. I
Yeah.
really liked him. I wanted him so bad.
Was
He
he
did.
available when we picked?
Uh, I don't think so. I think Dallas went ahead and traded up so they could get him.
Right.
But I don't think, I don't think we're going to trade up. And I don't think we're going to trade back.
The only time I can see them getting aggressive is if there's a quarterback there that they are completely sold on and they believe is the future for this franchise. You know what I mean? Like that's the only scenario I see them trading up. Otherwise, they're just going to hold fast and take the best defensive player available. That's just the way I see it.
They don't want an uproar in Raider Nation. Because if they go ahead and they pick like an offensive player and he's not good, there will be a very big uproar.
Well, there's too much riding on this draft for them to do anything outlandish. Like, surely, I mean, you know, they see what we see. We can't afford to miss with the way our roster's standing at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, this is our most important draft class in many years. This one and next year's one is going to dictate our future. You know what I mean? Whether we're going to stay in the Stone Age or whether we can finally turn the corner in time and possibly be Super Bowl contenders. You know what I mean? So, you know, surely surely not. Like I can't see this regime, for all their flaws and as much as I criticize them, doing anything too outlandish. Like the most outlandish thing I can see is, like I said, if they see a quarterback who they're 100% sold on, who they know about things that we don't, you know what I mean? They see what we don't see on tape because they're the experts and we're just on the couch. You know what I mean? That's the most outlandish I can see them getting. You know, no BS reaches like Arnett and Leatherwood. Surely not.
And I agree with this comment because Gruden's not here. He's not going out and picking, like Ziegler, when he did the whole draft last year, like Parham, he was a good pickup.
Yeah.
Mumford
is another one.
Yep. Masterson, I think it was.
Masterson was a non-UDFA.
Oh yeah, well
I was talking. I said Mumford in the 7th round. He seems to be a steal for a 7th rounder guy. You know what I mean?
All those unrestricted free agents that we got,
UDFAs,
I'd have to say that Polamalu. Yeah. I see. I'm not really good with pronouncing names sometimes, so.
Everyone struggles saying island names. Like unless you're Islander, I have island blood, so I'm quite familiar in how to, you know, pronounce like certain names. So yeah.
I like that Webb kid. He's another good one. Hall. Another good one. Yeah, I agree. Parham, very versatile. I really like that one game though. He did give up a sack.
You know, rookie. I mean, he did good considering he's a rookie. What is he? A 4th round guy, 3rd round guy?
Yeah,
you know what
I
I mean?
think
Like
3rd.
With all things considered, and he made the all rookie team, so you know things are only going to go up for him. I don't see him taking backward steps. I only see his trajectory going up, and you know I think maybe in time, like we could have another Gabe Jackson kind of guy who we picked around the same kind of range. You know what I mean? But yeah, like Ziegler did okay with. I mean, it wasn't a sexy draft last year, but like we didn't really have a 1st or a 2nd, and we went for like interior and linemen. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. So
we got the greatest wide receiver in our generation today.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we got the best wide receiver in football at the moment. Like, can't complain. I'm not complaining. No, don't get me wrong.
No. I love him and his attitude and the way that he just holds himself. Like, I was listening to one of his interviews. I don't know if you checked it out, but he was talking about how all these guys, he knew every single player that got picked before him in the draft. And he thought to himself, once he went to Green Bay, he was going to be better than them. And he did.
He's better than every other wide receiver at the moment.
Oh man, nobody can cover that guy.
Mm.
Nobody.
I just hope we're in a successful period of Raider football with him being a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone on record in saying I expect it to be a rough ride this year. I hope it's not the case. I hope we are successful this year and or next year. You know what I mean? And it's while Devontae's still a Raider. Because, I mean, how old is he now? He's like 30, 31. He's on how many more years? 2 more years on a contract?
30 or yeah, I think he's either 30 or yeah, I think he's a year younger than Carr.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's still got a few years left of his prime, you know what I mean, before he starts to usually wide receivers start to regress 33, 34. You know what I mean?
Unless your name's Jerry Rice.
Yeah. The elite of the elite will be the exceptions, but generally, when the legs start to give up and the body isn't what it used to be, you know what I mean?
True. That is very true. The older you get, well, you're only, how does that saying go? He's 30. Dark,
Yeah.
see? He's
Like
right.
being in your 30s is still young, but when it comes to professional sport, this is why like a lot of athletes when they're playing like physical sport, especially football is as physical as it comes. You know what I mean? Like a lot of players, they don't even play past the age of 31, 32. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of players are out of the league by then. You know what I mean? Because when you're doing that physical sport all your life, and then you're at the elite level where you're playing at its most hardest, most physical. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that kind of toll catches up with you quicker on the body. You know what I mean? So yeah, like 30s is still young in terms of like life, but in terms of like a pro athlete sport, like that's when you start to, get into the downward trajectory of things because of the toll you've already taken spending all those years playing that type of sport.
Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully we can have him for longer, and he still produces the way he does.
I don't see that Nightbot. He's supposed to be telling everybody that. Oh
I don't have a Nightbot.
well, I fixed it to where he didn't start. I didn't want him to be mean to my people in here. Because Cush's Nightbot was very mean to Dark and Queen and Navy Vet, and I just didn't want my Nightbot to be mean. So, because I don't want to have all my mods have to work too hard. I want to give them a break. Just need to watch and snipe them trolls.
Well, your chat feeds have been pretty clean so far. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Naughty Nightbot. Yep, you're right.
What did Ray Kush just called Ray Love Ray? When you said that, I started thinking of Ray Armstrong. Remember him?
Yeah. But
Funny guy.
Well, yeah, he was. Your Nightbot was being very mean. But I don't know if it's in there or not. I mean, I researched StreamYard and how to use it, to use the basics, and I finally figured a lot of it out.
Are you on your phone or are you on your a
The
laptop?
laptop. Yeah, so I can read everything. I mean, I can read it on my phone too, but at the same time, I don't have to hold the phone in my hand.
Yeah,
Well, you
it's
gave
it's
great
easier
advice.
on a computer and a laptop. My advice would be now that like you seem to have got the basics, like bringing up chat, doing the screen share, reading out your chat feed and all that, and yada yada yada. My advice would be like if the next step would be like maybe doing some aesthetics with your StreamYard. You know what I mean? Like how to have your own logos and how to have your own banners and all that, and your backgrounds, things like that.
Yeah,
You know
that'll
what I mean?
come.
Yeah.
That'll come. I learned how to do that too. So, I mean, just one step at a time. Um, Mr. Modfather uh, created me a logo the other day,
Thank you,
and it
Coach.
was, yeah. See, that's why I wanted that Nightbot to do that, and I don't see no Nightbot in the chat, so he's fired. The Nightbot's fired. Yep, you're done.
You're out of here. Say
Yep.
goodbye.
So I'll just stick with my people. But yeah, like they have to follow you. They have to follow Ozzy. They have to follow Kush. They have to follow Ben. They have to follow Dirty Raider. They have to. They're speaking of Ben.
Hey, Bento.
Salute.
Salute, brother. What's cracking?
They have to follow every single person in the NWA and the RWO.
Thank you, Holly.
You're
Just while
welcome.
you're here, Bento, I was working earlier this evening and I was listening to your Just Win Baby podcast. It was a good show. You and Nate and Jack Bauer like your takes on the roster and the shakeup.
Salute, Busy. Clark, salute.
Look busy, Clark.
Welcome. I'm not going to stay on 2 hours today. I can't do that. I'm not. I mean, today's my niece's birthday. She's going to have her birthday party in like 15 more minutes. And that's when I'm going to get off. Plus, I'm going to watch the race. Yeah, I like NASCAR.
Is it the what is it? The Indy 500? Is that what the big race is?
They have the Daytona 500, and then yeah,
Daytona,
they
that's
have
it.
the Brickyard.
Oh, okay. Is it one of those two events today?
No, it's just Talladega. It's one of my favorite races. I like it when they go on those big old high speed tracks. So then, a lot more crashes.
I saw a
One,
few Raiders sharing some footage. They were at the NASCAR, I believe. I think AJ Cole, Luke Masterson, and one of the tight ends, Fotheringham, they were sharing some footage of them like trackside at the it's either like the NASCAR or like the drag racing. But yeah, it was good to see like some of the Raider players like bonding off the field and doing some activities together. You know what I'm saying?
yep. I like the drag racing too. I got to see the first like. See, I like history behind a lot of the sports that they have. I like John Force as well. He's one of my favorite, and his daughters are really good at it. I know it's late for you guys.
Late, yeah, that's an understatement. It's like 2:30 in the morning.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Well, my sleeping pattern's been all kinds out of whack, so I'm a bit of I prefer being a night owl anyway. Like for me, it's like nighttime's peaceful. You know what I mean? I like to
Oh yeah, it
chill and
is.
hang out and kick it. You know what I mean?
I this my aunt's pregnant dog. She's going to be having her puppies next week, and so like she hasn't been able to walk
Oh, okay.
on and so I've been helping her. But when she ends up going into labor and have those babies, I'm going to be able to do the whole night shift, stay up all night, so then I'll be able to hang out with each and every one of you guys, and then I'll be able to do my lives a little bit better because a lot of the people are up at that time, especially in California.
Right.
So it'll be good for me and good for y'all. And then I can get my interviews.
Well, to be honest, like this time slot here seems to be okay because you're not, you know what I mean? Like I don't know any of the other apart from Bantha. Like I know sometimes Bantha does his lives around this time, but like, you know what I mean? Like this is a time slot that doesn't clash with anybody else. You could make this your own. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. But then I'd
Like,
have
look,
to get
don't
my,
get me wrong. I'm not saying don't do it. You know what I mean? You do you, but like, I think this works out pretty well for you so far. So yeah.
I don't ever want to go and mess up anybody's life. So like I like to watch and support, and I don't want to ever like
Yeah.
go over anybody or like
Me
ruin.
neither. But also, like, I also, for me, like being a smaller channel, like, I gotta, I gotta face the facts. Like, you know, one, I don't want to clash with anybody. But two, it's like know who your audience is, and if I'm gonna go up against some of the bigger channels, you know what I mean, like inadvertently, if I ever do, it's not on purpose. But if I do, you know what I mean, like, where are they? Where are people gonna go? You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
most of the people that mess with me, they're going to be over there. So it's like, you know, that's all I'm trying to say is like, you know, take this into consideration. Like this is a good time slot for you. Like, you know, no
well,
one
thank
else
you.
is.
I appreciate it.
Work okay?
Well, I'm gonna get that. I want to do a mock draft, but I don't know. I'm not really good at them.
Ask Ozzy. That's his. He loves doing. He does like hundreds of them a week. I'm probably the wrong guy on the panel for a mock draft. I don't know a damn thing outside of the first round.
I do too. I always I always miss Lunatic and OG Dirty. I always miss their show at night, so I always watch it in the morning.
Yeah.
So I
I
can
missed a
hit the
lot of
like
shows, and
button.
then I watched like the replays. But it goes back to what I said the first time I was on your stream. Support those who support you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it doesn't go unnoticed for me. Like who comes into my chat feeds and like who doesn't. You know what I mean? Like I notice the people who
Yes.
come support me, and I do everything in my power to repay that kind of support. You know what I mean?
Oh yes. And that's what I do. Like that's why I always say like it takes 2 seconds to hit that like button, you know? Cuz you guys go ahead and you go out of your way to make these videos. At least they can do is just hit the like. That's the first thing I do when I click on the video is I hit the like button. Whether I'm on my phone or I'm on the laptop or the PC, whatever, I am always hitting that like button.
Takes 2
Gotta
seconds.
support. I watch just because I don't comment on IG. I always watch everybody's Instagram stories. Not everybody, but majority of them. Because I got
Holly, have you got much
reality
planned for
stars
the?
too.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, it's all good. All I said was I just don't watch the reality stars ones.
You got much planned for the draft?
I'm just gonna watch everybody else.
Fair enough.
I'm not really knowledgeable about all these guys coming out of college. I mean, the there's only certain ones that I know about because then people come on here and then they do their film study. Like Raphael was talking about this tight end the other night, and he was really good at blocking and catching the ball. I was impressed. And he's really good at describing what's happening and stopping it when it needs to stop and starting it when he needs to start it. He's just really good at it. And I try to watch everybody else. Speaking of El Capitan, here he is. How's it going? Oh, we can't hear him. Can't hear you, buddy.
And he's gone. Sorry, Rafa. I was going to say something. Oh, that's right. Well, you don't really need to be like a technical guru or know the ins and outs of every prospect. Like when I'm going to do videos or live reactions to the draft, like, I mean, I know some guys, but you can just go by emotion, like just what does your gut tell you, and how do you feel about that particular pick, the position, what the player brings to the table, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to know all the technical aspects to feel some type of way about like a draft pick. I mean, rewind back when we drafted Alex Leatherwood and Damon Arnett. I mean,
yes.
I don't know if you remember how you felt then, but I remember how I felt. I actually did a live.
Not happy.
When I did a live reaction to when we drafted Alex Leatherwood.
You guys wouldn't have wanted to see mine.
Like you could also like look back and think like, how did you feel when we drafted a guy like Khalil Mack? How did you feel when we drafted Amari Cooper? How did you feel when we drafted Josh Jacobs? You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you would have been
ecstatic.
You know what I mean?
I was ecstatic when we drafted them people. Like
to my point, see, you don't need to know the technical aspects. You know what I'm saying? Clee too. Clee's another one. Like I
was like, what?
I still have the footage on this phone from there was one of the first videos I did. I didn't put it on YouTube or anything. I filmed myself reacting live to the Clee Farrell pick. It's still on this phone. I just saw it the other day.
I was screaming at the TV. I mean, they couldn't hear me, but I said, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Do you remember the face of that guy on live on the TV? And there was that footage of that dude who was in the crowd in attendance. He was like, "This is like, like what the fuck?" And then he started walking in the other direction.
Yeah, I remember what they were. I remember the commentators talking about this too.
Yeah, see, Kush.
Why did they pick him when they could have went? Yeah, that's what they were saying. Why did they pick him? Why couldn't they pick the other guy?
Okay, so I heard a salute, Rafa. I heard something. I think it was Stu Schwager who told me this. He heard it from Randy Hansen. They actually had got. First things first. Do you guys know who Randy Hansen is?
Yes. I remember saying.
All right. So Randy apparently told him that Gruden and co had other players higher on their board at the time that they wanted that they would have picked. Unfortunately, the guys that they had higher on their board, they were all represented by the same agent that they were having trouble with at that time. Remember that sport agent, the one who strong-armed Gruden and hardballed them to the point where we had to trade. He negotiated Khalil Mack's trade out of Oakland. He was also the same agent that represent Amari Cooper and got him out of Oakland. So at the time, there was a lot of bad blood between Gruden and this particular sports agent. It wasn't until later in that season, I recall like hearing the news that Gruden and our GM at the time, Mayock or McKenzie, whoever was our GM at the time, had to have a dinner together with this sports agent to try and smooth things over because it was Gruden being the stubborn guy he was, he's like, I'm not dealing with that dickhead. And anybody who's under him. But at some point in time, you're going to have to deal with this guy because he's representing a lot of the top stars, players, prospects that are coming through the league. So, but like when I heard that story, I mean, yes, sometimes it's all hearsay, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? When I heard that coming from Stu, and it was Randy who told him, who's been in behind closed doors with the Raiders organization, and being at the time frame it all went down, like it kind of made sense. So, yeah.
That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like because
it was a head scratcher. Like, I mean, he's a great character guy, but like, it's all good and great having a good character. Like, at best, like, and I make peeps with this last year, but like, my biggest critique of Cleve Farrell was always the same, and I was always consistent in that saying that you don't draft at number 4 for number 3 or number 4. What was it? Number 3, I think. You don't draft there for a rotational guy at best. You draft there for a guy who's going to be the centerpiece for your roster, whether it be on the defense or on the offense. And Cleve Farrell, whatever way you want to cook it or cut it, you know what I mean? A good guy, a good teammate, a good role player, but he most definitely didn't even come close to being any of that. So,
yeah, I agree. That's why, like, I remember listening to the commentators say, like, why did the Raiders go ahead and pick Cleve when they could have picked, his teammate who was better than him? See, I thought we were going to pick somebody who was better than him, but we didn't. And it's kind of disappointing. What do you think, Raf?
Oh, about Cleve Farrell Jr.? I mean, wow. I thought I was gonna have a really that connection right there, but I was getting more than about Cleve Farrell Jr. because he was like the reckoning up, because he remembered like the bit of the bias at Clemson because they had to be able to do like the common things and the word ethic that you way to execute it, and they give it a number 4, like the overall. It takes like in the mid reviews, like at the 4 for the second year. And he was like at the edge rusher, but he's like at the getting better every week. But he always like not always out of the bush or the pocket, but he also did something that he should about it. But for my reason right there for Cleve Farrell Jr., I think it should be like very good. But I think this is gonna happen like between Cleve and Jr. because they had to struggle. But he was serving like the defensive end. But there's like the massive problems that are like started. But what are those players like that one? I think that there's no promise in that when it comes to the starting pay, because he was slated, and they were just sort of remain at the roster because when it comes specifically like the edge roster, that didn't create like the chance. But I don't think it's really safe to do about it. But if they have it a good tool without what's a star power unit, but it's gonna stick like the Cleve Farrell Jr. to the number 4. But he's getting like the better of it all the time. But I think that it's something that I accepted, but making it like a snap out of it. But I think that it's something that it could be like really enough. Could be really enough.
Can I show you something, Holly?
Yes.
I said I had the Cleve Farrell footage on my phone.
Yeah.
What's up, Holly? What's up, hey y'all? What's up, Captain Raphael?
Yeah.
Yo, Auntie.
What up? How's everybody
doing? Yeah. Your reaction, Brett. Yeah, I was cussing.
That was live watching the Cleve Farrell pick, and salute on 6. How are
you?
Yeah.
How's it going, brother?
I'm pretty good. How you doing today, Holly?
I'm good. Today's a good day, but it's always a good day.
No, it is. I'm just ready for this draft to get here already, man. Just a couple more days.
I know, right?
Me too.
I'm bad about that. There's an air show right next to me today, so I just want to jump on real quick, Holly, and just say what's up and shit. Just saluting everybody, but I'll let you guys go because the stupid air show's going on. But have a great show, guys.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.
That was like a noise about it, but yes.
I always love airplanes. I was telling.
Did you see that? Did that footage come through on the camera? All right.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I just
were
saw it.
like,
Yeah.
I was with you. I was cussing though. But yeah, I really like airplanes too, so it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have bothered me.
Baron up in your corner.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. It's where I get my moniker from, the Silver and Black Baron, when I'm playing that Battlefield on PlayStation, because I control the plane like that.
Oh, so you play on PlayStation?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I should give you my my name, and we could play a game sometime.
Yeah, hell yeah. What do you play?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Destiny.
Okay.
Destiny 2. Do you play that?
Not really. No, I got to be honest. I stay away from like MMO style games, being that like they get way too addicting for me. You know what I mean? I once upon a time I used to be right into like World of Warcraft, and I spent way too much time like invested in that game to the point where I wasn't sleeping, I was being late for work, I wasn't working out, you know what I mean? I was cutting every corner in life in order to be online playing World of Warcraft. And when I broke that cycle, I said, no, never again. I have to stay away from games like that. Yeah, granted, Destiny is a different kind of game, but it still has that similar concept where you get sucked into a world and you just spend hours upon hours of just being engrossed in it. And it's like digital crack for me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's not the game that I could stay on all day and all night. I go through phases where I'm like, yeah, I could play an hour or I can play 2 hours, and then I stop. I like playing Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, Grand Theft Auto. Yeah.
It's the only
Maybe
time
I should download that again so we, I'd be with playing with you on stream.
Yeah, I'd do it. I play video games a lot with Richard Lyon. I don't know if you see him around.
Richard dropped me his gamer tag. I haven't added him yet. Is it like Zillion or something like that?
Zilius. Yeah.
Zilius. Yeah, that's right. And salute to Richard. Good dude.
Yeah, he is. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I like playing video games anyways. I try to not play Madden anymore because I get too mad if I lose.
Yeah, I had a pretty unsuccessful stream. I don't know how much you watched, but I
watched the whole thing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
It's okay. I was gonna tell you were gonna come back. I was helping the pregnant dog when I was listening to you, and I was like, "Oh, he'll be able to come back." But yeah,
I did, and then I lost at the end. But like it's still fun. I try and like I'm like you. I game as well, but like I still try and keep a better balance. Like this is my downtime. Like if I've got responsibilities, life, and I still keep active at the gym. Like that's number one for me. Like don't like go all the way inactive. You know what I mean? Because if I stop going to the gym with like I gotta be the first to admit my diet sucks. Like I eat like shit. And if I stopped going to the gym, I would just balloon, you know what I mean? Easy.
I'm gonna be starting. Okay, here I gotta correct my grammar here. I'm going to end up going to the gym starting tomorrow. Instead of doing workouts at home, I'm going to the gym.
That's what's up.
I want to start using the bike
Okay.
and the weights. So
Mhm.
wish me luck tomorrow.
Okay.
If there's anything you need help with, like at the gym, if you knew, are you familiar with how to use equipment and stuff like that?
Yes. I went with my mother a few times
Okay,
when
cool. Yeah, because
I
I recently had a friend who lives on the East Coast, and she just joined the gym for the first time a few months ago, and I gave her some small little pointers, like and tips on like how to use like some of the easier equipment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, you guys are always so sweet. Always. Very supportive. Very helpful. We need more men in the world like y'all.
Mm-hmm.
More women like you as well, Holly.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Rafa,
So,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Rafa.
what's
Yes.
going on, man?
Well, I'm doing good. And of course, I've been studying like draft prospects because I was there with Dirty last night that I was breaking down for a player for the Northwestern Wildcats, and that boy is really tremendous at speed. And of course, I do like because the last time that I was doing like a film study of Tucker Kraft, which is a
What's up,
defensive
Tubby?
tight end. Yes, that was a tight end from South Dakota. And then I was realized that I was starting like the more than draft prospects before the draft coming in the next week. And of course, there was something much more because they had a lot of information to break down. And of course, I had to prepare for what is best. And I was very prepared because at the first time I was feeling nervous, but right now it was like I had to break it down to see what's the ability, what's the pros, what's the cons, and I just like to study those draft process players and let's see how the best player available for the Raiders could fit in because we need to fit in like because we had a whole lot of positions to fill in like the defensive, like the defense, the offensive linebacker, the cornerbacker, and we have a lot of because wide receiver, I don't think so because we had a lot of positions of a wide receiver between Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfro, and of course Devontae Adams, because we had to worry about the defense, and that's what I'm getting studying for the draft prospects.
Yeah, that's one position I can almost bet whatever possession I've got that we wouldn't take in the first round. That's a wide receiver. I mean, I can see them maybe looking for a speedster later on, possibly a returner, because God knows we need it. But yeah, it's defensive heavy, if not a quarterback that they're highly sold on. As I said before, that's going to be the franchise guy for the future. But yeah, I mean, take your pick when it comes to defense. Like every positional group needs help and upgrades. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, like I don't care who we pick up. Like as long as it's not an out of left field Joe Schmo reach. You know what I'm saying? Like don't care.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say is like I said this before. I do believe like maybe the first round, the second round, the third round is maybe even the fourth is going to be all defensive.
Possibly, we might squeeze a tight end in there if they're sold on a tight end being, our next a good replacement for Darren Waller. You know what I mean? A Darren Waller at his best in time. But yeah, like that, and maybe somewhere along the line, if they see someone there that's, you know what I mean, Or the only other scenario, I don't know what the running back room is like. I don't think it's that great in this class. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but
No,
it's pretty bad.
there's only if Rocket Sanders from Arkansas is going to be in the draft, then I would put my money on him, but I wouldn't take him in the first round.
Okay, I was going to say like the only scenario I could see us spending on a running back in the first 2, 3, 4 rounds is if there, I don't know, somehow we can't work something out with Josh Jacobs and the writings on the wall. He wants out and he will not play on the franchise tag, and we need to do something with him. And they're not sold on Zamir White and or Britton Brown or anyone else in our running back room being the future of that position. That's the only way I see us possibly taking a running back in the first 4 rounds.
Well, I was going to tell you, I was watching somebody's live. Don't quote me on who it is, but they were talking. They had an interview of Josh Jacobs on it. I want to say it was possibly Eric, SC Experience.
Oh yeah.
I think it was. Yes, I think it was him. Yes, and yes, salute to him. He played the interview of Josh Jacobs talking about he would sign the tender if they go out and they get offensive line to help him and Jimmy. And also to help the defense.
Yeah. So he said that before free agency. That I'm pretty sure that was said a few months ago. Basically, he said something along the lines of like, if I feel that the team is in a position where we're addressing like, this is just what I took from it. Like if he felt like that, yes, okay. If they're spending the money on players and making our team better in order for me to play at my best, then I will sign the tender. But if it's otherwise, like if I don't feel like the team's doing everything in their power to make the team better for me during my time as a Raider, because it's no point in me sticking around if it's like a complete rebuild and the dividends that are going to come out from like us going younger is not going to be until I'm out the door. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just what I read from what he said. I don't know.
One thing here, I got a question. If you were the GM, who would you pick to stay? Hunter Renfrow or Josh Jacobs?
That's a good question.
You can only choose one?
What?
You can only choose one?
Yes.
Oh, it'd be Josh Jacobs. I mean, that's pretty easy, no-brainer. Yeah, Josh Jacobs. But like, I don't know. I've said it a few times. I never thought it was necessary for us to be in a position where we need to cast off Hunter Renfrow for the sake of keeping Josh Jacobs. And I don't believe we should, Hunter Renfrow deserves to be treated like he's yesterday's garbage, because he's not. You know what I mean? Like,
I wasn't saying that. I was just saying.
Yeah, I know that's not what you're saying, but like,
I love Hunter.
Even before the whole like Josh Jacobs hasn't signed his contract, and before we made any moves in free agency, when we still should have had cash to be able to make a move on Josh Jacobs without having to do anything with Hunter Renfrow. I mean, a lot of people were coming out and saying we need to trade Renfrow, we move on for Hunter Renfrow, this, that, and third. And it's like, for me, it's like he's 1 year out from being one of the best slot receivers in the game, and he's not like, unlike Darren Waller, you can't question his off the field attitude and stuff like that. I mean, people can say what they want about Darren Waller, but Hunter Renfrow has been a very, very good Raider, and he's always had a good attitude. He performed on the field. He's great off the field. And I don't know. Just for me, like I said, I think he deserves better than just to be treated like he's yesterday's garbage. But yes, look, to answer your question, go back to your question. Of course, Josh Jacobs. Hopefully, we can work something out.
I hope
Yeah,
so
I
too.
will say Josh Jacobs. For me, if I was like the general manager, I will keep it to stay for Josh Jacobs because he could break any rushing record every week, and sometimes because remember he was beating Bo Jackson rushing total in 3 with the 6 games, but also showing him that Sunday after losing for Green Bay. I mean, he was trying to win games because the end results were how well Jacobs has performed at that point, but it doesn't really tell with the whole story because there's something about the way he produced with a lot of power, slashing ability, elusiveness that makes him different than most. And there's like the thugness to be a Gardner's respect because take it like the first and third round first scrimmage, for example. And Jacobs took like the first carry off the left side, maneuvering like between blockers before they decided to meeting that because he was lower shoulder for the boom. And he was so because he had a great feeling. He's really thought and he's really cared. And that's specifically clear to his way to toss with the teammates, especially for a rare mistake. Because for the offense and about that, because he's working also good. And he runs that ball with such an energy, and you can feel they haven't matched that. And he was leading for the NFL rookies because that guy is starting one of the best about it. But because he can do anything. And also he's still productive and is such a vital for the Raiders offense, which is a fact.
It's true. You're
Sorry,
not wrong.
just to break things up, and good take, Sarah. Tubby Chile, I hope your nose has been situated, my friend.
Exactly. I agree with you on that one, Afakasi.
Mm-hmm.
Tissues and hold it like this.
I think the reason why Hunter didn't really perform as well is because of that concussion.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Me too.
He probably got confused, and that's how he ran right into Devontae.
Have you ever suffered a concussion before?
Yes, when I worked at this cleaning uniforms company.
How bad was it, and how long did it take for you to shake it off?
A couple days, actually, longer than a couple days.
Okay.
My jaw, it felt like it was gonna close. That's how bad it was. It was ringing my ear. It was just super bad. It hit me right pretty close to the temple. This conveyor belt.
Oh, conveyor belt. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was like this where you hang hangers, and it takes it up to this. It's one of the oldest factories that I was working in. They didn't have it updated like it normally, like all the newer ones was. So it was like this older conveyor belt, like going all the way around, carrying these clothes, taking them up to the ceiling and putting them up there. And I thought I missed the conveyor belt, and bam!
Right.
They took me to the emergency room right away.
But it took you a few days to shake off the residual effects, right?
Yes.
All right. I've shared this story on my own lives and on a few lives when people were talking about concussions. My athletic background is I did. You've seen it on when I was on Kush's live when I was doing his workout with Kush. My athletic background is I did Muay Thai 10 years, and I suffered by count maybe 5 or 6 concussions. I think just about every fight I had in the ring, I suffered a concussion, like residual effects afterwards. But the worst concussion I suffered was actually 2012. I was in Thailand. I was staying there for about a month and a half. I was training at one of the camps over there, and I was actually training for a fight. I was looking to fight over there, and I felt good. I was in probably one of the fittest states of my life. And I went to one day I went to train, and there was a few guys that go over there, young lads. They go and they Thailand's pretty notorious for being able to be easy to access, like steroids and testosterone and all that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So at my gym, there was a few guys who were unashamedly on the gas, like they were massive. But anyways, I went and sparred one of the guys, and you know, we were sparring. I was doing all right. I was actually doing pretty good, I thought, and he didn't really get me too much. But all it took was I slipped one way, and then as I slipped to come back, I slipped right into his hook. Bam. And I've taken many shots playing, doing Muay Thai, like in the ring, training with coaches, blah, 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 blah. But I'd never taken a shot like that. Like I was knocked out for like, you know, I everything went black for like 3 seconds. I lost my leggings and, you know, I tried to shake it off. And eventually I started like, you know, my head started to throb. I started losing vision in this eye. I started to puke. I went back to I went home immediately. And I started like, my head just got worse. I was vomiting, and then I ended up passing out. I didn't know I passed out until like I woke up and it was like 4 a.m. and I was just like, what happened? Like, where am I? You know what I mean? And I had to kind of put things together, and I realized shit, what had happened. But like the effects after that, like I could still feel like, so what it felt like for me. So if I move my head around, it feels okay now. But like, if I was to turn my head this way, it feels like it feels like my vision's going in slow-mo, and like my head is like pounding like that. And I didn't shake that off for about 5 weeks. So going back to the Renfro situation, when he suffered his concussions, and like people was talking about like, oh, why isn't he back yet? Blah, blah, blah. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like from personal experience, I know it takes as long as it takes. And as long as he feels up, only you know your own body. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they can do scans.
Exactly.
And all that. Like, if you have suffered a concussion and you're still feeling residual effects, it's not worth risking it, rushing yourself back in and making things worse. I mean, look what happened to Tua Tagovailoa. You remember that last year? When he took that shot, and his fingers started to, you know.
That scared the crap out of me. Like,
because they rushed him back. I mean, so.
Like, it's okay. So my favorite race car driver, Junior, right there. He was a big advocate for concussions because he suffered a few of them in his time. And that's why, like, with Hunter, I was like, well, I think he should just stay out for the remainder of the year and just come back healthier than ever for next year, because it's very dangerous. He comes in and he gets hit in the head again. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
He's going to be like Tua.
And look what happened to Antonio Brown. I mean, by accounts, he was quite a normal guy up until that Vontaze Burfict hit, when Vontaze Burfict just about took his head off. And ever since then, like, you know, look at all look at the mess that his life has turned into. You know what I'm saying? And I for one, don't see no coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, I never heard any off the field behavior or any misdemeanors or nothing like that up until after that hit. Like, is when things just started to fall off the rails, so to say. You know what I'm saying? So, and
he was a good wide receiver. Oh man, I was so excited when he announced he was coming to the Raiders, and my goodness, I was freaking out. I was like, finally we have a nice wide receiver coming here, and then with all that stuff that happened, like, it just.
I was excited too, but my early red flag from when I look back on it, but when it all went down, when we made the trade, I was pumping the air. I was like, sweet, yes, we got a number one wide receiver to replace Amari Cooper, because that was the year after we got rid of Amari Cooper, right? Yeah. And when I found out what we traded for him, it was like a 4th or a 5th round pick. That was my early alarm bells. It's like, why did they only want so little for someone who's so talented. And sure enough, we found out very quickly, you know what I mean? They just wanted to get him out of there, you know what I mean? By any means necessary. They didn't want to deal with him because he was what he was. When he came to us, he continued to be that way. When he went around the league, still acting all crazy. And like, yeah, there was times he was still able to perform, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It was a disappointment.
Very bitter disappointment. And Kush says, he's suffered from a compliment too. You never fully recover. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be like long-term effects, but like you just try to minimize those long-term effects as much as you can. There's only so much you can do, you know what I mean? But the number one thing is like to stay away from like things that are going to like, you know, physical contact. Like for me, like when I suffered that concussion, I stayed away from any form of like sparring. I was supposed to fight the week after that happened, and I said no, not going to happen, no way. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I made that decision. You know what I mean? So I could have been in a lot of risk and danger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And it's always important. Like I don't say like I say a lot of the sports nowadays is very soft, and I'm not including the concussions at all. I'm just talking about people who get offended by what other people say to them, or, you know, like back in the day, like NASCAR drivers used to, you know, they used to race with swollen eye, broken arms, broken legs, and I think about Aaron Rodgers majority of the time going out there, you know, he wanted to go out there with a broken collarbone. I mean, bad knee, bad everything. Derek Carr playing with a bad groin that one week, like he should have been sitting out, but he didn't want Mariota taking his job. I understand. Like there's just certain situations I understand that you can do that with, but nowadays I think they're just trying to make it so much more safer for the players and the drivers nowadays that, you know, there isn't no deaths because, you know, Damar Hamlin.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, yeah, like there's times when you kind of miss that smash mouth kind of, you know, way of playing or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, for the long term, safer is always going to be better. Making the sport safer, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
it's going to improve longevity. It's going to help minimize. I mean, it's still going to happen. Like players are still going to get hurt. Players are still going to have to forced to retire because of injury and all that kind of thing. But like, they're doing their best to minimize it, so to say. I'd like to think so anyway. So,
and I would like to see football get to where there's no concussions, you know?
In a perfect world, that would happen, but like,
I know it's going to happen, but I feel like they're trying really hard to make sure that they're protecting their players. I mean,
well, have you seen those caps that they're putting on the practice helmets, like the rugby caps that they're putting on? Yeah. Apparently that's supposed to minimize like the risk of concussion by 20% or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but yeah.
Maybe you don't have to worry about getting any chest injuries because you wear those sports bras like Crosby. I'm just kidding. I just thought I'd have to. No shade, Max. No shade. I love you. You're a really good defensive player.
Hey, when you're as sound as what he is, you can wear whatever you want. But like a lot of like pro athletes wear that thing underneath like their like jersey and like the armor that they wear and that. So, you know, yeah, whatever. I mean, I've never worn one before. I don't know what it's supposed to do for you, but each their own. But anyways, look, I really need to get to bed. It's like 3:30.
Yeah.
So.
I understand.
Thanks, Holly. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Anytime. You're more than welcome to come on.
The last couple of times, so it's really good to see you got your channel up and running, and everyone's come out to show their support. So you just keep doing your thing. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you coming out and supporting me as well. Anytime you need me to come on your show, you let me know, and I'll be there.
Well, about that, first things first, and you too, Rafa. Like, good to see you, my brother. You keep doing your thing. You let me know when your next Raiders roundtable is, and I'll do my best to make it in that.
Yep.
All right, I'll keep in touch with you, Holly. Like, if you don't have any plans for the draft, I might be doing some reactions to it live.
Sure, I would come on with you for sure. Because I don't plan on going live. I want to watch everybody else's reactions and stuff. And
yeah. What about you, Rafa? What are you doing for the draft?
Oh, for the draft, I'm gonna do like a live reactions for the first round, which is on Thursday at 8 p.m., which is on the network, because right now I had to do the live reactions for the round 1 of the NFL Draft 2023. It's gonna be at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be on the network, All Star Sports Network, which is all included for the round number 1. There to see like the reactions, everything.
Oh yeah, nice.
And of course, after the draft, I'll go to be after the draft. There's a surprise for the Raider Nation. You got to stay tuned after the draft.
Navy vet still at work.
Yep, Navy vet.
Mm-hmm. So you're actually going to go live for the draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna be live for the draft, and after the draft, I'm gonna bring some surprise for the Raider Nation.
Okay, that's what's
up.
keep us posted. Keep us posted. Sorry. Go ahead. You gonna say something?
Not me. No.
Oh, I thought Rafa was gonna say something. I don't know if I mentioned it before. Like I'm gonna react live to day 1 and maybe day 2, but like I'm not actually gonna be live. Like I'm just gonna be sitting in the StreamYard with a few people, and we'll react together, and then I'll upload it later. Because for me, it's like there's not really much point in going live. Every dog and his dinner is gonna be live. Be lucky to get 2 people. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
Might just get together with some people, watch it together, react together, and then upload it later.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. That's a really, really good idea. You just let me know.
All right,
and I'll be there. You have a good sleep.
For sure. You have yourselves a good day. It's still daytime over there.
Yes.
Everyone in the chat feed, Tubby Chile, hope you've situated your nose. Raider Kush, always good to see you. Navy vet. Have a safe time at work and drive safe when you get home. Like if you feel like you're fatigued, make sure you pull over. I'm not your father. I'm not your mom. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but like just concerned. Like if you worked a long shift for 24 hours straight, like that's when it can get dangerous, like driving home. So make sure you drive home safe. And of course, Dark Atheist and Ray Love. Good to see you boys. All right, gang. Take care. I'll see you on the flip side.
Sure. All right. See you there. Mm-hmm.
You got any last comments? Because I'm going to shut this down. I don't want to have to take any more of everybody's time.
Yeah, that's exactly. Of course, I have to say that salute to everybody else in the chat. Tubby Chile, Raider Kush, salute. Of course, Ray Love, Dark, Navy Bad. I hope you're doing good. And of course, Tubby Chile. I hope you're feeling great. Okay, so right now I'm gonna do I'm gonna hop off because right now I gotta do study with the draft prospects, getting ready for the NFL draft, and of course there's a surprise for the Raider Nation after the draft. It is gonna be great, and of course there's much love and respect from El Capitan Rafael. So I will see you there and Holly anytime when it comes to your life, I'll be there. So salute.
Salute, brother.
Salute.
All right, there you have it, guys. Next time, I'll probably do a mock draft, and you guys can help me pick people. Maybe tomorrow I'll do this. I just don't want to take any more of your time. Don't want to go over my my limit that I wanted to do. I only wanted to do an hour today, but hanging out with you guys was really awesome. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Get the word out with Kush's channel, Ben's channel, everybody, NWA, OG, Jack Daniel, Pharaoh, Raider Ray, all of them. And have a good and wonderful, safe day.